Now Korach, the son of Yisahar, the son of Kahat, the son of Levi, along with Datan and Avram, the sons of Eliab, and On, the son of Pilat, descendants of Reuben, took men and rebelled against Moshe, siding with them over 250 men of Israel, leading of the community key members of the council, men of reputation. They assembled themselves against Moshe and Aaron and said to them, "You take too much on yourselves. After all, the entire community is holy, every one of them, and Adonai is among them. So why do you lift yourself up above Adonai's assembly?" When Moshe heard this, he fell on his face. Then he said to Korach and the whole group, "In the morning, Adonai will show who are his and who are the holy persons he will allow to approach him. Yes, he will bring whomever he chooses near to himself. Do this, take censers, Korach and your group, put 5 of them and put incense on them before Adonai tomorrow. The one whom Adonai chooses will be the one who is holy. You are the sons of Levi, you are taking too much on yourselves." Then Moshe said to Korach, "Listen here, you sons of Levi. Is it for you a mere trifle that the God of Israel has separated you from the community of Israel and to bring you close to himself, so that you can do the work of the tabernacle of Adonai and stand before the community to serve them? He has brought you close, and all your brothers, the sons of Levi, with you. Now, you want to have the office of Kohen too? That's why you and your group have gathered together against Adonai. After all, what is Aaron that you complain against him?" Then Moshe sent to summon Datan and Avram, the sons of Eliab. But they replied, "We won't come up. It is such a mere trifle, bringing us up from the land flowing with milk and honey to kill us in the desert, that now you're arrogant to yourself the role of dictator among us? You haven't at all brought us into the land flowing with milk and honey, and you haven't put us in possession of fields and vineyards. Do you think you can gouge out these men's eyes and blind them? We won't come up." Moshe was very angry and said to Adonai, "Don't accept their grain offering. I haven't taken one donkey from them. I've done nothing wrong to any of them." Moshe said to Korach, "You and your group be there before Adonai tomorrow. You, they, and Aaron, each one of you, take his fire pan and put incense in it. Every one of you bring before Adonai his fire pan, 250 fire pans, you too, and Aaron, each one his fire pan." Each man took his fire pan, put fire in it, laid incense on it, and took at the entrance of the tent of meeting with Moshe and Aaron. Korach assembled all the group who were against them at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Then the glory of Adonai appeared to the whole assembly. Adonai said to Moshe and Aaron, "Separate yourselves from this assembly. I'm going to destroy them right now." They fell on their faces and said, "Oh God, God of the spirits of all humankind, if one person sins, are you going to be angry with the entire assembly?" Adonai answered Moshe, "Tell the assembly to move away from the homes of Korach, Datan, and Avram." Moshe got up and went to Datan and Avram, and the leaders of Israel followed him. There he said to the assembly, "Leave the tents of this wicked men. Don't touch anything that belongs to them, or you may be swept away in all their sins." So they moved away from all around the area of Korach, Datan, and Avram lived. Then Datan and Abiram came out and stood at the entrance of their tents, and their wives, sons, and little ones. Moshe said, "Here is how you will know that Adonai has sent me to do all the things that I haven't done them out of my own ambition. If these men die of natural death like other people, only sharing the fate of common to all humanity, then Adonai has not sent me. But if Adonai does something new, if the grounds open up and swallows them up with everything they own, and they go down alive to Sheol, then you will understand that these men have contempt for Adonai." The moment he finished speaking, the ground under them split apart. The earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up with their household, all the people who were sided with Korach, and everything they owned. so they and everything they owned went down alive into Sheol. The earth closed over them, and their existence in the community ceased. All Israel around them fled in their shrieks, shouting, "The earth might swallow us too!" Then fire came out from Adonai and destroyed the 250 men who had offered the incense. Adonai said to Moshe, "Tell Eleazar, the son of Aaron the Kohen, to remove the fire pans from the fire and scatter the smoldering coals at a distance, because they have become holy. Also the fire pans of these men whose sin cost them their lives have become holy, because they have offered before Adonai. Therefore, have them hammered into plates to cover the altar. This will be a sign for the people of Israel." Eleazar the Kohen took the brass fire pans, which the men who had been burned to death had offered, and they hammered them into a covering for the altar, to remind the people of Israel that an ordinary person not descended from Aaron is not to approach and burn incense before Adonai. If he wants to avoid the fate of Korach and his group, as Adonai has said to him through Moshe. But the very next day, the whole community of the people of Israel complained against Moshe and Aaron. "You have killed Adonai's people." However, as the community was assembled against Moshe and Aaron, they looked in the direction of the tent of meeting and saw a cloud cover it. The glory of Adonai appeared. Moshe and Aaron came out in front of the tent of meeting. Adonai said to Moshe, "Get away from this assembly, and I will destroy them at once." But they fell on their faces. Moshe said to Aaron, "Take your fire pan, put fire from the altar on it, lay incense on it, and hurry with it to the assembly to make atonement for them, because anger has gone out from Adonai, and the plague has already begun." Aaron took it, as Moshe had said, and ran into the middle of the assembly. There the plague had already begun among the people, but he added the incense and made atonement for the people. He stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stopped. Those dying from the plague numbered 14,700, besides those who died in the Korach incident. Aaron returned to Moshe at the entrance of the tent of meeting, and the plague was stopped. Adonai said to Moshe, "Speak to the people of Israel and take from them staffs, one for each ancestral tribe, from each leader of the tribe, 12 staffs. Write each man's name on his staff, and write Aaron's name on the staff of Levi. For each tribe's leader is to have one staff. Put them in the tent of meeting in front of the testimony, where I meet with you. The staff of the man I am going to choose will sprout buds. In this way I will put a stop to the complaining of the people of Israel keep making against you." Moshe spoke to the people of Israel, and all their leaders gave him staffs, one for each leader according to their ancestral tribe, 12 staffs. Aaron's staff was among their staffs. Moshe put the staffs before Adonai in the tent of the testimony. The next day, Moshe went out of the tent of testimony, and there he saw that Aaron's staff for the house of Levi had budded. It had sprouted not only buds, but flowers and ripe almonds as well. Moshe brought out all the staffs from before Adonai to all the people of Israel, and they looked at each man's, and each man took his staff back. Adonai said to Moshe, "Return Aaron's staff to his place in front of the testimony. It is to be kept there as a sign to the rebels, so that they will stop grumbling against me and thus not die." Moshe did this. He did as Adonai had ordered him. But the people of Israel said to Moshe, "Oh no, we're dead men, lost. We're all lost. Whenever anyone approaches the tabernacle of Adonai, he dies. Will we all perish?" Adonai said to Aaron, "You, your sons, and your father's family line will be responsible for anything that goes wrong in the sanctuary. You and your sons, you will be responsible for anything wrong in the service of Kohanim. But you are to bring your kinsmen, the tribe of Levi, along with yourselves to work together with you and help you. You and your sons with you. When you are there before the tent of meeting, they are to be at your disposal and perform all kinds of tasks related to the tent. Only they are not to come near the holy furnishings or the altar, so neither they nor you will die. They will work together with you in their duties related in the tent of meeting, whatever the service in the tent may be. But an unauthorized person is not to come near you. You will take charge of all holy things and the altar, so that there will no longer be anger against the people of Israel. I myself have taken your kinsmen, the Levi'im, from among the people of Israel. They have been given as a gift to Adonai for you, so that you can perform the service in the tent of meeting, you and your sons with you, and exercise your prerogatives and duties as Kohen in regard to everything having to do with the altar and within the curtain. I entrust the service required of Kohanim to you. The unauthorized person who tries to perform it will be put to death. Adonai said to Aaron, I myself have put you in charge of all the contributions given to me. Everything consecrated by the people of Israel I have given and set aside for you, your sons. This is a perpetual law. Here is what is to be yours of the especially holy things taken from the fire. Every offering they make, that is, every grain offering, sin offering, and guilt offering of theirs that they turn over to me, will be especially holy for you and your sons. You are to eat it in the especially holy place. Every male may eat it and will be set apart for you. Also yours is the contribution of the people of Israel, given in the form of wave offerings. I have given these to you, your sons and your daughters with you. This is a perpetual law. Everyone in your family who is clean may eat it. All the best of the olive oil, wine, grain, and the first portion of what they give to Adonai, I have given to you. The first produce to turn ripe of all that is in the land, which they bring to Adonai, will be yours. Every clean person in your family may eat it. Everything in Israel which has been consecrated unconditionally is to be yours. Everything that comes first out of the womb of all the living things they are to offer to Adonai, every human or animal will be yours. However, the firstborn of a human you must redeem, and the firstborn of an unclean beast you are to redeem. The sum to be paid for redeeming anyone 1 month old or over is 5 shekels of silver, 2 ounces, as you value it, using the sanctuary shekel. This is the same 20 gara. But the firstborn of an ox, sheep, or goat you are not to redeem. They are holy. You are to splash their blood against the altar and make their fat go up in smoke as an offering made by fire, as a fragrant aroma for Adonai. Their meat will be yours, like the breast that is waved in the right thigh. They will be yours. All the contributions of holy things which the people of Israel offer to Adonai I have given to you, your sons and your daughters with you. This is a perpetual law, an eternal covenant of salt before Adonai, you and your descendants with you. Adonai said to Aaron, you are not to have an inheritance or portion in the land. I am your portion and inheritance among the people of Israel. To the descendants of Levi I have given the entire tenth of the produce collected in Israel. It is their inheritance and payment for the service they render in the tent of meeting. From now on, the people of Israel are not to approach the tent of meeting, so that they will not bear the consequences of their sin and die. Only the Levi'im are to perform the services in the tent of meeting, and they will be responsible for whatever they do wrong. This is to be a permanent regulation through all your generations. They are to have no inheritance among the people of Israel, because I have given the Levi'im as their inheritance the tenth of the produce which the people of Israel set aside as a gift for Adonai. This is why I said to them, they are to have no inheritance among the people of Israel. Adonai said to Moshe, tell the Levi'im, when you are to take the people of Israel the tenth of the produce which I have given you from them as an inheritance, you are to set aside from it a gift for Adonai, 1/10 of a tenth. 1/10 of a tenth. The gift you will set aside will be accounted to you as if it were grain from the threshing floor, and grape juice from the wine vat. In this you will set aside a gift for Adonai, for all your tenths that will be received from the people of Israel. And from these tenths you are to give to Aaron the Kohen a gift set aside for Adonai. From everything given to you, you are to set aside all that is due to Adonai, the best part of it, its holy portion. Therefore you are to tell them, when you set aside from it its best part, it will be accounted to the Levi'im, as if it were grain from the threshing floor and grape juice from the wine vat. You may eat it anywhere, you and your household, because it is your payment in return for your service in the tent of meeting. Moreover, because you will have set aside from it its best parts, you will not be committing any sin because of it, for you are not to profane the holy things of the people of Israel, or you will die.